We've evolved into a personal brand in multiple companies in marketing, and you're now director of marketing. Welcome back to the MAK podcast, where we basically unfollow the herd in entrepreneurship, in real estate, and in marketing. So I have a special guest with me today, the one behind the scenes. We're doing a little follow-up of a podcast that we did in January, but she basically puts all this content out into the place where people can see it. And she helps me every step of the way, and without her, none of this would be possible. So thank you, Jen.
You're welcome.
Thanks
for having me back.
Yeah, you're impacting, and this had a lot of views last time.
It did.
And we're just going to give away the nitty gritty of like, what the hell are we doing?
Mm-hmm.
How are we doing it? And where we're going to take this. So, but I want to share some more things about Jen and why you doing this and how'd you end up here and your story a little bit. I know we got into it a little bit, but let's where was Jen? Where's Jen from?
Well, so I was born in Bismarck.
Oh, Bismarck. That's a good place.
Yep.
There's people there.
Yep. So lived there until I was about 3, and then we actually moved to Grand Forks, and we lived in Grand Forks for a couple of years while my dad went to law school at UND. I was just at the MAK office. We were talking about I went to preschool here, so we're doing a concrete project over by like the elementary school I went to.
Okay.
So it's like, I went to preschool there, and Hunter's like, okay.
Wait, how did you? So you went from Bismarck to
Grand Forks,
right to Grand Forks,
and then back to Bismarck while my dad
Mark was
interned.
Was your dad? I like your dad's name too, by the way. And he went to UND.
He did for law school.
Okay.
So little fun fact, he was a cop in Bismarck. And then he told my mom one day, he's like, I've always wanted to go to law school. And she's like,
how old was he?
I was 3, so he's probably 27.
So was a cop.
He was a cop. Yep.
Wow.
He had, I think, a criminal justice degree undergrad.
Sure.
And then
Makes
he's a cop, and he's like, I'm tired of putting people in jail. Like, let's help people out.
So wait a minute, he's going to be an attorney and keep them out of jail?
Yeah, so he's a defense attorney now. So
hey, you need a defense attorney.
Yep.
Marc Friese, one of the best in North Dakota. So
yep. So went to law school. He did law school up here. Then we moved back to Bismarck. Only lived there for about a year. And then we moved to Fargo, and that's pretty much where I grew up. So I tell people I'm from Fargo or Argusville, a little small town north of there,
Fargo,
like a Thompson, kind of.
Yeah.
Doesn't have a school or a Dollar General, but it's got a bar and a church. So
it's officially a town. In North Dakota, that's considered a town.
Exactly. So my parents have lived there for the last 18 years, 19 years. So they've lived there for a while.
Yeah,
so
that's a long time.
But yeah, I went to high school in Fargo. Private school kid, went to 𝗨𝗵𝗳. So a lot of people are like, oh, private school kid or gross 𝗨𝗵𝗳, like whatever. But I don't know. I liked it, small class size.
Wait, why would they do that? What is 𝗨𝗵𝗳 known for? And I don't know.
It's just like the private Catholic school.
The uppity group.
Yeah.
You guys had like cupcakes for every lunch and stuff.
If only we had. Actually, the school lunches weren't bad. Shout out to Patty. She was cool. She's still there, I think.
She's cooking lunches?
She's cooking lunches. Yep.
Damn.
She was one of my best friend's mom, actually.
Oh.
So,
yeah, we in Thompson, we got like, I think each lunch was like $1.10, and it was okay.
Yeah.
I'd say it passed.
Yeah. I don't know. I always tell my brother, I'm like, you let me know when you have cheese quesadillas and I will come back for school lunch because those are my favorite.
I loved it all, honestly. School lunches are just one of them things. It's like, you just live with it. And I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I was a TV dinner guy growing up. So that's...
Yeah, we had like tacos and spaghetti were like the two staple meals. Like my mom was not.
Did you guys ever have a thing called Crispitos?
I don't know what that is.
I don't know exactly what they were, but you'd like dump a bunch of hot sauce and it's like a mini fried burrito thing. I don't know.
I don't think so.
It's phenomenal.
Okay. I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, we'll have one sometime.
Okay. Do they have gluten in them? Probably.
Extra gluten.
So none for Jen, but that's okay.
Okay.
But yeah,
cool.
High school was good. And then, college, I moved up to Grand Forks. I knew I wanted to to move away from Fargo, I did apply to NDSU. I got into NDSU, UND, and University of Mary out in Bismarck, because that's where all my family still is, extended family. So I was like, University of Mary would be great. So cool. Like, it's beautiful out there.
Yeah.
I don't know. The campus is gorgeous, but it's kind of expensive. So I was like, probably not.
So how many years did you go to Mary?
I didn't.
Oh, you didn't go to Mary?
No, I just got accepted.
Oh, okay.
So those were like my three choices, UND,
okay.
NDSU, UMary. And I was like kind of weighing them all. I had a couple friends that were coming up to UND. So that was kind of and it's closer. It's a lot closer than Bismarck. So I was like,
for sure,
we'll go here. And I actually started as a pre-nursing major.
Wow.
So
much different.
Yeah. So I was didn't take chemistry in high school. So I took chemistry in college, and it was after the third time I took it, I was like, this probably isn't for me.
Chemistry's tough.
Yeah. Especially if you hadn't taken it. I didn't have any background in it. So the way the class was
Why am I learning all this to be a nurse?
Literally. And I'm like, absolutely not. So I didn't really know what I wanted to do. And I was kind of doing my research, and I was like, do I want to do like a political science? I was like, I don't even know, marketing or business. I was like, I don't know what I want to do. And then I saw communication, and I had a real interest in radio. Like, I wanted to be a radio personality for the longest time. Like,
wow, you're coming out here. You might have a career change.
I know, I wanted to be on the radio.
You're right where you want to be then right now.
Well, there's cameras on me, and I don't know.
Oh,
I don't
cameras.
like no cameras. But yeah, I wanted to do that, and that kind of fell under communications. And when I met with the advisor, she gave me this 8.5 by 11, like your standard sheet of paper, and the whole thing was filled with like different things you could do with a communications degree. So like law school's on the table if I ever wanted to do that, or radio communications, public broadcasting, just so many different options. So it's like, sounds like a good idea. And then I didn't have to take any math classes. So
avoid the math.
Like business and marketing, like you had to take like finance and stuff like that. And I was like, not for me. So
that's where I hung out.
It's like, well, hit communications. And then I graduated. It only took me an extra semester. So that was kind of my worry, switching.
Sure.
After
a little more school.
Yep. It was a whole year that I had done pre-nursing. Just about a year and a half, I think. And so I was like, I was worried, but I got it done and learned a lot. But
when I went into business, like college of business, there's like all these credits you take that you're like, why? And because I left engineering was full of like this calculus and Diffie-Q and chemistry and physics, and oh my gosh, like kill me.
But here's the thing, you're good at math. I'm not.
Yeah, like, one thing I'm good at is math. Like for sure. Communications, I wish I would have took something in communications, just because now I'm learning it.
Right.
I'm trying to figure it out. It's how you portray things. It's how you say things. It's how you deliver things. And obviously putting myself in front of cameras as trying to grow myself in that. But it's a unique ability.
Right.
Some people are more gifted than others, I feel like, and I was not gifted in it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Like, well, last week I was at Communication Appreciation Day at UND.
For sure.
And just talking, there was a lot of alumni there, so I got to catch up with some of the people I had classes with. And also they had a panel of alumni and current students, different questions for them.
Okay.
And that was pretty cool. But yeah, just seeing all the different paths these kids want to take.
Yeah.
I was there as a construction marketer, is kind of how I portrayed myself, because I do the marketing for MAK Construction as well. But they're like, construction? Like you work at a construction company? And I'm like, yeah, I do.
Yeah.
And I was like, it's a different space. Like, yeah, I'm working really closely with you, doing your personal brand type stuff, which is a little more normal, but like you can only spread your audience so far with construction.
Yeah, it's so tough. We talk about that. We literally slam our brains together every week. Hey, how can we market a really good deal for a construction company? And it's not even construction, because like we did residential construction, we'll do weird homeowner stuff and show hacks and tips and that. We're not doing that.
Exactly.
We're talking about commercial real estate. We're talking about architects. These are our viewers, and there's very few viewers when you're talking architects, engineers, and, large developers. That's a very small crowd of people that we're trying to speak to.
Exactly. And it's trying to figure out exactly how to speak to them and how to get in front of them. Like we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on LinkedIn. LinkedIn's probably the best space to reach them.
It's just where the customer base is.
Where they're going to be. But even like targeting ads through Google and Facebook and stuff like that, it's trying to find like, okay, what interests do I put in there to get this right group of people? Like it's just.
Well, are your people on Facebook?
Right, exactly.
Your homeowners are for sure.
Yeah.
Everyone's on social media, but is your commercial end user?
Right.
No, but the wife for maybe your end user is.
Exactly.
So that's why we do it, right?
Yep.
But it's very challenging in the construction space. If you have any tips, we would always take a comment.
drop them down below.
Or if you had an idea for us or something. But let's get back to communication, because you had this long list in front of you, which is kind of where we ended that. Which one did you select, and how'd you move forward?
I didn't select one.
Oh, that's the punchline.
Exactly. So I was in school, I was working part-time at Menards retail. Loved it so much. I'm so sad I left. No, I'm not.
Your sarcasm bled through there, I was going to say.
So I was working at Menards part-time, and I kind of moved up. I started as just a regular cashier, and then I was a head cashier, and I was comfortable. Like, I don't like change. That was my first real job.
Oh, sure. So you were into the groove.
Yeah. So I'd nannied and stuff when I was younger, but I had never had like a real job. So I was like comfortable, didn't want to change, liked my manager, whatever. Well, right as I was graduated December 2017 from UND.
Okay.
So one of the other managers, the front end manager, so deals with all of like the cash register counting, any problems that arise with almost anything. Last people you see as you go out the door kind of thing. One of the managers was leaving, and I asked like the front end manager, Brad, I was like, hey, can I have her job? Just because I didn't know what I wanted to do. Like I'd done my internship at Menards. I didn't go out and do an internship with a radio studio or anything like that.
Yep.
I just stayed there. And he's like, sure. So
hey, ask for the opportunity and you might get it.
Yeah. So I was a second assistant, and then I just kind of moved up. Like I said, I was comfortable there. I used comfortable loosely because I didn't like it. Got yelled at a lot, being a girl working at a hardware store, people don't trust you a lot of times.
Gotcha.
Especially a young girl. I was 21, 22. Wow. I was younger, and I did move up. I was a first assistant, so that means like I was the front end manager, like on my weekend, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I was kind of looking for another job. I think we touched on this the last podcast, but one of our mutual friends, 𝗨𝗵𝗳cie Johnson, who was also on the podcast.
Yeah.
So
yeah, he probably hasn't even been out yet.
He hasn't. It will be by the time this one comes out, though.
Yeah, we'll be good.
He had called me. He's like, hey, you still looking for a job? I'd been applying, like, I applied at UND, but you needed all of this experience, which I didn't have. And retail experience, but I don't have, like...
You were trying to exit retail?
Yeah. I don't have marketing. Like, all of these jobs, you need 5 years experience in whatever it's related to almost. And I just didn't have that. And So I was getting interviews and stuff, but then it was the email back. Oh, thanks for your time, but we've gone a different route.
The John Deere letter.
Yeah. So, yeah, then Travis had called me. You guys were going through some changes, and he's like, "You're still looking for a job?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Oh, I'm going to give 𝗨𝗻𝗇𝗵𝗍 your number if that's okay. MAK Construction's looking for an office manager." And I was like,
You had to know some of our people.
I don't know that I did. I knew
Or seen them. Whatever.
I knew of people. So like I'd seen like Logan and Wyatt. I didn't know they were twins because I'd see them at different times, and I'm like, he was just in here.
He was in aisle 13 and in aisle 6.
Yeah, I was like, he was just here. Like,
and he changed clothes.
He just checked out. But yeah, I'd seen people like, Cody, some of the GC guys, even some of the concrete guys. I kind of knew Mike because Mike had worked at Menards. So like people that I worked with knew him.
Yep.
So it was like, oh, there's Newstead. Like,
yeah.
He didn't know who I was, but like, so yeah, you guys, 𝗨𝗻𝗇𝗵𝗍cie brought me in for an interview, and like I said last time, she must have liked me. So then she brought me back, I think the next week, to meet with you and Mike, and then you guys emailed me like literally that afternoon.
We act quick if we like you or don't like you.
Well, 𝗨𝗻𝗇𝗵𝗍cie was also like 7.5, 8 months pregnant.
Oh yeah. So you knew we're an urgency.
Yep.
You knew a connection.
Yep.
You used that into a position you probably weren't looking for.
Yes and no. I had applied for some admin jobs.
Oh, okay.
I didn't really care what I was going to be doing as long as it wasn't retail.
Oh.
At that point. So it was fine.
Look at you now.
Yeah, I know. So
what year was that?
2020.
Okay.
So it was COVID too.
Yes.
So like retail during COVID was absolutely miserable. Like,
yeah. Weird scanners and masks and.
Well, Menards at the time wasn't allowing children under 16.
Oh my god.
So telling people they can't bring their kids in, like just miserable, like getting into fights with people. Like, I don't make the rules, man, but I have to enforce them.
Man, do I love some politics though.
Yeah.
Go write a letter to your president.
Yeah. So I did stay there part-time after I started here though. So, but it was mainly because they do profit sharing. So I knew I was getting a check at the end of the year.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Because I had reached my hours for the year. So I was like, might as well.
I'm sure they would say the same thing. I mean, maybe they wouldn't tell you that, but you knew that. And
yeah,
they knew what you were doing, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So I actually worked in the receiving department. So I was forklift certified.
That's right. I remember you doing this.
Yep. Don't ask me how many times I crashed one of those things.
Yeah.
Or ran into shelving or.
Yeah. You were hired as an office manager from memory. Mm-hmm. I remember seeing you in Menards and you're like, oh, hey, Mark. And I didn't even know you had like your headband on. It was some cheetah print.
Of course.
And you were running around, probably normal for that, that job. So I mean, I didn't know much of you at that time. I don't even think you started for us. You were like in your 2-week
probably
thing. Yeah. So, but yeah, you were an office manager. Basically you took pretty much every loose job there is.
Yep.
You get them all.
Hiring, HR. I was doing accounting at that point, running payroll, entering bills, paying bills.
Cleaning, hospitality.
Yeah.
Yeah. We make sure our office managers are busy.
Yep.
And you're going to learn a lot of things, though. You probably learned a lot during that couple of years of, it's a lot of, you got to take a lot of different people are communicating with you too. And you're like the whole mix of the office. So
answering phones. There's a long time there where I was that fall that I first started. There was like a whole month that I think I was the only one in the office. So we were a small office at that time too.
Yeah, I suppose.
You were still over there. I was the only one up front because 𝗨𝗻𝗇𝗵𝗍cie was on maternity leave.
Yeah.
I think it was Cody and Mike were like and Zach were the only other ones, and they were all out helping where needed. Like I literally was the only one there for like a
That's
month.
always awkward too. It's like, so if you have a question, you figure it out.
Pretty much.
And I don't, you know what I mean? Our onboarding process is probably a little different nowadays.
I hope so.
I don't know that it's a lot greater than that. Maybe Katie could vouch, but for Jen, you pretty much get onboarded. here's a list of shit you need to do, and here you go. And we'll see you in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I think I had 𝗨𝗻ecie for like less than a month for her to show me.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Kind of how things were running. We were getting ready for the second annual golf tournament, which we're now on our 5th this August 3rd this year.
August 3rd. We will drop a link below. Sign up.
We have sponsorship opportunities, golf opportunities.
Yeah, it's all going for Back the Blue. Like to help out young kids as well within. They go shopping for Christmas. We were able to get some money to them, so the cops will take the kids Christmas shopping. Super cool. But yeah, make sure to register for that golf tournament. We raise as much money as possible for a good cause.
Yes.
And it's a truly fun day for us. So we have as much fun as possible. Probably too much fun.
A little too much fun sometimes.
A little too much fun. My head usually hurts a little bit in the morning.
It's a good time.
After it.
But yeah, so we were gearing up for that. My first, because I started, I think July of 2020, because I had to put my 2 weeks in, and it was after my birthday. My birthday's the end of June.
Yeah.
So we were getting ready for that, and 𝗨𝗻cie was getting ready to have a baby, and she's like, all right, I'm getting induced the day after the golf tournament. I was like, perfect. I'll have your help. Like, I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, didn't her water broke or something the day before, and she had knocks the day before the golf tournament.
Yeah, I was probably not the best dad at that point, only because I still made the golf tournament. One of us had to. You were a month in.
Probably less than a month, yeah.
Operating the golf tournament with little to no direction, I'm sure. I mean, maybe we were prepared a little bit from the first one, but this was our second annual?
It was the second one, so it was at the country club, and your first one wasn't.
Yeah.
The first one, I don't know where.
Yeah, we learned a lot in these golf tournaments. It's a process to put them on. It's a process to get everything together. It's an event, and you got to host it. And if you're not used to it, or you don't do it all the time, there's a lot of shit to it. And yeah, I remember I still made it for the
whole day, and you left your wife at the hospital.
Yep. Without a name for the baby.
Correct.
And I gave her a name for the baby, and the only thing I told her was it had to start with an M. And so I left the hospital. We were in agreement because I didn't have any choice with my 2 older daughters. So, and then I get called on hole 1, she's crying, telling me, why did you leave? It's like all these emotions going on. And she names him Knox, I find out later. So his initials were supposed to be a MAK. That was the only thing. I didn't care what his name was. I left with M. I said, let's just narrow it down, because she was at whole list. It's like, okay, let's narrow it down. And yeah, so his initials are KAK. KAK. It's supposed to be MAK.
Yeah.
Tidbit story to that golf tournament. But let's fast forward a little bit into what you're doing today, because I think you've evolved out of the office manager position. You've evolved out of the running everything type position of basically. We've evolved into a personal brand in multiple companies and marketing, and you're now director of marketing. I don't know what name we actually call it specifically.
I don't know what my title is. So
I don't think, I don't know. Important to you, maybe not as important to me. But yeah, you're basically the producer of all the content you're the last say whether it goes out the door, right?
Yep.
So so if you have any feedback for Jen, we always take it. We don't get a lot of criticism though.
No.
I always look for like the haters, because then it like motivates me even more.
Well, Facebook is where you need to find that, because your Facebook page, there's some people that are like,
good.
There's a
keep pouring the love in there.
Not hateful, but like not supportive comments, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, no, that's the gasoline.
Yeah.
Just helps light the fire harder.
Yeah.
So yeah, well, that's good. Maybe we'll look at those harder on Fridays.
Yeah, we'll have to.
This guy's an idiot, or all the hurtful thing. And I use it as pure motivation. You just got to flip the script.
Right.
Like, don't take anything heart to heart.
Exactly.
Like, I don't care what those people are probably jobless and sitting at home, and all they can do is bring other people down.
Yep. Just the keyboard warriors.
Yeah.
Typing comments on everyone's stuff. But
angry.
My favorite is the one, there's a reel where you explain, I made $1.1 million on one real estate transaction.
Oh, tell me more.
Well,
Good hook.
It was your hook,
I know.
but is the one where basically you made that much money, but then you split it with the other owner because you own the building.
Oh, sure. Yep.
And so people are like, so you really only made 500,000. Well, I want to comment back and be like, thanks for watching the whole video. Like,
that was the ticket.
like that's literally all you're telling me is that you watched the entire video.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's all about how you see the video. You know what I mean? We just did a podcast with my daughter, and she even understands what they're doing in some of these. If you actually break down what you're watching.
right.
You may have enjoyed the whole video, but then I like, okay, why did I enjoy that video? So now I look back and I'm like, okay, you made $1.1 million. Here's all the reasons why, but I had a partner.
Right.
It was a 50-50. So you didn't make that much money. I still made 550 grand. Like,
Right.
and you watched the video. So
Exactly.
I win.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, it was a hook. It was a little bit of clickbait. That's what a hook is.
Exactly.
It's clickbait.
Yeah.
So anywho, let's, it's interesting though in these videos now that we've been doing them every day. But I know we talked about the process at that point, like what we were doing and how we were breaking down. And so what are we doing right now? What in your take, what are we doing and how are we doing it?
Yeah, it's changed a little bit since the last video too. I'm not editing reels anymore. I think I still was in January.
So why did we do that?
To take some load off of me because I was doing almost everything.
So load meaning you're delegating things that take time.
Correct.
And people could do it more efficiently or at a less cost.
Correct. Both.
Right.
Because it was taking me way too long to
Right.
edit one 30-second reel.
Right. And now we can pencil them off to VAs.
Yep, exactly. So we've actually got two editors. So one who's ripping, time stamping your longer YouTube videos.
Yeah.
And pulling shorts from those. And then one who's editing ones that we shoot. Those ones I still do clip throughout. Like if you're blank staring at the camera or you're like, I'm going to redo that. I still do clip that out. So they've got the
Lots of blank stares.
lots of
bloopers.
Lots of bloopers.
There's no one perfect behind these freaking cameras. I've watched the best of the best raw film. It's literally as choppy as you can get it. It's think about it, do it, say the hook, say the bot. It's not like I'm fluently just a freaking robot out here delivering a perfect message. Like this isn't live. It's literally like well thought out, trying to rip something that you understand. I mean, not all reels. Some you just rip, but everyone thinks that they're delivered perfectly. And then we've been working with Ryan Pineda. We can go to his office and watch him break down a reel. Everyone's like, oh, he's perfect. It's like, no, that guy's chopping it. He's like, blank stares, rips apart.
Yep.
Yeah. And so it's like,
And then he thinks about his next part and then he rips it.
yeah.
Pause. Because even, hopefully by the time this comes out, your podcast with him is out as well.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Because we went to Vegas for 28 hours. I don't even know how long we were there. It was quick.
Yeah.
Quick trip.
Death trip.
Oh, it was miserable.
We did meet with Ryan. So we did a podcast with Ryan and got to meet with him for an hour. We did get to eat at Barry's though. That was pretty exciting.
We did.
He hooked us up with that.
That was good.
Below the Circa. If you haven't stayed at the Circa, we had a...
Jen
found it.
I would stay there again.
Yeah, that was great.
100%. But yeah, so even watching, he ripped a couple reels with you. Even watching him, it was nice to have him there because he coached you through it as well.
Right.
Like, oh, no, you do have to say that in one sentence type thing because you would say like 3 words and then stop and then say a little bit more. He's like, you can do that all at once.
Yeah, we ripped some reels with him.
Yep.
Are those on his camera or ours?
I have the footage. They have the audio.
Oh, you still haven't had the audio?
No. So I need to get the audio.
Well, we better find that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So sitting, ripping reels. And he stops me and he's like, don't say it like that. Say it like this. Because he's got a
Right.
vision in his head for the video, the ad.
And that's, I think, that's one thing I need to get better at is like the total vision. Like,
Okay.
that's the one thing I struggle with. And I think you may struggle with just a little bit is because he's got the whole thing, like the whole reel thought out in his head. He's like, I want the hook to be this, and I want my conclusion to be this, and all the body in between. Yep.
Yeah, it's the middle is where the practice comes in. Anyone can come up with the beginning, the hook, and anyone can come up with the conclusion or the call to action. But it's the middle is where the money's made. So and it's just reps. Like the more and more I do, it's like, okay, get into detail, deliver the message, provide value as fast as humanly possible. And I'm a rambler.
You are. Yeah, you are.
You don't want to be rambling in reels.
They've gotten a lot better though. Like even I go back 2 months, a month and a half. Some of your reels are like a minute and a half to 3 minutes long. Like it's a long reel.
Yeah.
But like the ones we shot a couple last Friday, they were all under a minute. So,
We're getting better.
That's what we want.
Yeah, I'm a slow learner, Jen. I'm a slow learner.
Me too. It's fine.
I need to think about something 600 to 800 times before I really understand it. And that's just who I am. But once I understand it, I can execute on it and I'll do it. But yeah, this is a learning process. And I'm more comfortable today, which I think self-doubt is a big thing that like holds you back, like from getting behind a camera or getting in front of the camera instead of from behind the camera where you are. It's like self-doubt is like a huge thing. I was listening to 𝗨𝗨𝗍𝗶𝗍cie on a podcast about confidence and trying to be just like, you always have this self-doubt and you're like, I don't know if I want to go on Ryan's podcast. It's scary. And it's not really. I mean, methodically it is because there's a lot of viewers. I don't want to screw up, but it's like, just be you, live without the self-doubt. People like who you are and they may not love who you are. You got the haters on Facebook, but I've always I think that's why people get scared with the camera in front of them. Like just self-doubt.
Right.
It's just the confidence of doing it. I don't know. So yeah, 𝗨𝗨𝗍𝗶𝗍cie has a whole podcast on that and overcoming fears of getting, like my wife can get into front of the camera and I've never seen anyone have the white screen go off. Like literally the blankest. I can't even hold up cards and her to read a word. Like she just freezes. So
well, you shot a story couple days ago about the golf tournament and she's like like didn't even know what to say. Like you just asked her the date. Like
yeah, the thing about with like Chelsea is she wants to do this stuff,
right,
but she's living in the gap of fear that what are other people going to think of me,
right?
Judgment, fear, self-doubt. If she can overcome those four things, you know what I mean, like that little piece of thing, and that's all the viewers watching this, I guarantee you're not in front of a camera, you're not turning the camera around because of self-doubt, fear, judgment of other people. People don't give a shit what you have to do. I'm delivering as much content as possible on a very low quality, I think. No one's out here just freaking ripping on me. There's a few on Facebook, whatever. I don't really give a shit what they think. I did 6 months ago. I just don't care as much anymore. So I don't know. But it's a thing. It like holds you back. Mm-hmm. So it's like, how long can you sit in the fear, judgment, self-doubt, what other people think?
Right.
I mean, I was going on a rant there, but it's
he rambles.
It's a problem.
Yeah.
I think like now you're seeing more people produce content. We're in coaching, but yeah, you can go on about, I mean, why do we do reels and that kind of thing? Like, I think some people just don't understand that.
It's the attention, like that's kind of maybe not the right word, but like getting your name out.
Yeah. No one knows
you. Yeah. Like people are starting to know your name, like, LinkedIn reels, the Instagram, TikTok type thing. People are seeing you, which is getting the attention towards not only you, but to MAK Construction and MAK Capital. Mm-hmm. So
who's the guy that was in jail? There was a influencer.
And is it Andrew Tate?
Yeah.
Is that who you're talking
Andrew
about?
Tate. So I forgot his name. Andrew Tate went to jail, whatever. But the reason, like, people think he is the most brilliant influencer, one of the at getting attention and being talked about, whether it's good or negative. But it just shows how fast he was a good marketer up to that point, marketing himself, whatever he was doing. But as soon as he said he was going to jail, his name blew up, trending on Google, trending on everything, because it's negative.
That's literally the only reason I know who it is, because Twitter started suggesting his tweets to me after he went to jail.
The guy is brilliant. It's no different than Donald Trump. He loves people who talk negative. Donald Trump's going to jail. He's on the golf course putting. You know, he loves. Everyone is saying his name. Oh, did you hear about Donald Trump? Did you hear about? The guy's loving it. Now, a different perspective person would say, "Oh my God, I don't want to be known about going to jail and getting into trouble and da da da." These guys aren't in huge trouble. Like the media is helping them build their brand.
Oh, 100%. I was watching the Today Show this morning while I was getting ready, talking about Donald Trump, Mike Pence testifying. Like,
you know how much he has to pay for that? Zero.
Nothing.
And you know how many people are saying his name every day? Millions. And he does nothing for it. So it just shows, though, we can sit and do all this positive content, but you need the haters just to help grow the brand. And Twitter will start pushing you.
Yeah, please don't go to jail, though.
No. I was just saying that you knew who Andrew Tate was. Did you know who he was before that?
No.
No idea. I didn't either. All of a sudden, this guy went to jail and he's got millions of followers and it's like a big deal. It's like, how is he sending tweets from jail? And how is he doing this? And he's doing it. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, and now the guy has like twice or three times the people that know him. And I still don't even know what he does.
I don't either. I literally just know the name. Like I said, Twitter was, I'd get notifications like suggesting tweets from him. Like, I don't know who this is.
Insane. So I'm not telling you to go to jail. I'm not telling you to go out and steal anything to get your name known. I'm just saying, don't worry about the negativity if it is getting out there. I get into more conversations than I've ever have used to building attention. I think that's what we started this as. Attention is like, money will find attention, right? Like if you're doing good things, people will perceive you as an expert if you keep talking about them, because we're educating ourselves in apartments, entrepreneurship, real estate investing, whatever it is. And people are going to perceive us as experts because we talk about it all the time.
All the time.
So anywho, but yeah, reels are little mini ads that build attention.
Yep.
That's how it was. Like, once you understand some of the stuff we adopt, I don't know, it's Ryan's our coach now. And so what else in marketing, what do you think helps us? Where do you think help a viewer?
Oh,
Because reels, I think, like the short form to get to the long form, because we're doing YouTubes now.
We are.
And I didn't ever anticipate that we're going to be sitting here doing podcasts even.
You didn't want to. You're like, I'm not doing that. You literally were so defiant. You're like, I'm not doing a podcast. I was like, you need to do a podcast. No, I'm not doing a podcast. And then Ryan's like, you need to do a podcast. And you're like, okay. Like,
power of influence.
Right.
Jen, I'm not going to listen to you. You don't know what you're talking about. Well, here's what I go into. I go into the prove it model.
Right.
Tell me why, tell me how it's going to work, and prove it to me that it works.
Right.
You know, and I think that's how you build ads. It's like, okay, you made $1.1 million. Prove it. Well, here's why, and here's how I did it.
Right.
And then I had to split it with a partner, which created a comment.
Right.
But well, we're doing writing. Not that you're producing the writing. Right. How do we use the writing into the short form? Because I think people lose, like, what do I make content about? I can't talk about the same thing every day. Right.
Yeah. So you're writing on LinkedIn. So follow Mark on LinkedIn. It's down below.
Yeah. Follow me. It's like 12 or 13,000 people now.
Yeah.
Just in the last 90 days. We were at like a couple grand, or I don't know.
Yeah.
It wasn't many.
It wasn't many when we first started. And then you got a writer. So your posts go out every day. So we just kind of check analytics on those, see what's doing well. And then we kind of repurpose those into reels, which I know, not to throw you under the bus, but you struggle with that a little bit. Yeah. You'd rather kind of just freestyle it almost.
I would rather rip a topic than a reel.
Like me asking you a dumb question. We use that a lot.
Yes, because I feel like the viewer, that's what they want to see.
Right.
Different audience though on LinkedIn.
Right.
So it's for different hook lines, different demographic.
Right. So yeah, we kind of try to use there's usually a good hook right at the beginning. Then kind of repurpose that into some reels. But that's a lot of real estate content.
Boring.
Yeah.
So what are we trying to do now?
Do more hobbies, a little more entertainment,
But that has nothing to do with real estate.
but it still pulls people in. But you can tie it back. How'd you buy your Tesla?
So, well, we're talking about a formula that we follow now.
Right.
That we should explain, the Cub formula, which I'm going to pull that up on my iPad here for we're talking about it. But basically, we're using our hobbies, and we tie in our hobbies to create a funnel. Basically, we have 80% of hobbies. That's what we're going to create reels about. And we're going to go down into, I don't know, it's 10%, 10% of expertise, which is something mastery. Like I know how to pour concrete. I know how to do construction. I know how to do some real estate buys. And then it's mastery. How to invest in real estate. Why to invest in real estate. How it can change your life. It's really boring to talk about the bottom two. That's why we're in the 80% of the hobbies. I like golfing. I like Teslas. I like cars. Whatever we like. Tesla tequila. We can talk about anything, but it attracts more viewers.
Right.
So it's kind of, I think the funnel there is hobbies into mastery type content,
Right.
but like the Cub formula, which we can't take credit for. We learned from Ryan McGinn, who's one of the coaches at Wealthy Creator, which we follow, and that's how we learn every day. But there's Cub, C-U-B, confusing. So no one wants to listen to, if it's confusing to you as you're delivering the message, it's going to be confusing to the listener. Unbelievable. Prove it. Prove that you made 1.1 million. How did you do it? Tell me the tactics. Tell me the details. Tell me what kind of transaction it was. Tell me how much the interest rate was, whatever. Give all the details into proving it. And then boring B, if I'm just sitting here at a monotone voice and I don't say anything crazy, you're not going to watch this again because it sucks and it's boring. And I can be boring. But I'm learning. So anyway, the Cub formula, I think it's helpful. So CUB, confusing, unbelievable, and boring, which is, there's all sorts of other things that we could talk about and on how we deliver messages. But how do you make a reel then? What kind of questions would you ask? Like how would the viewer think about this? Maybe they're a realtor, maybe they work at a car dealership. They sell cars.
Just like I've bought one car in my life. Like how do you buy a car? Like how do I trade in my car?
Oh.
Like I have no idea. I have no idea.
Who figures out the value of it?
Yeah, why am I getting $12 instead of $112? Like I don't know. Like that's really low. I hope you're not getting $12 for your car. I do know that much.
Is that what the Buick LeSaber's worth?
It's a Regal.
I was going to say, the Buick Regal.
It's a Regal Sportback.
I was going to say, I might buy that for Stella and have her pay me back.
There you go.
$12.
$12.
Jeez, your parents would be very unhappy with you.
So upset. So upset.
But I did lease a brand new car.
Oh God. They'd be even more upset.
It's like $600 a month with the insurance.
Oh God.
We better not.
No.
But how to trade in a car.
Just kind of stuff relevant to your niche.
Yeah.
Just like the simple questions that you may overlook. Like, well, it's really easy for me. Like, I know this, but no, dumb it down. Like, tell me how to do this, why to do this. Your big who, what, where, when, why, how.
Yeah.
All.
I think you learned that in the third grade, but
Yeah.
we all forget it. And, like if you're going to buy a car, so you're figuring out how do I know what my trade-in is? How do I figure out what the payment is? Why are the floor mats only $3 a month? Why are,
Why do I need to pay for the floor mats?
Yeah, right. Shouldn't the floor mats come with the car or no?
Right.
Do I need the extended warranty? Is the warranty a gimmick?
Right.
Is your financing the best, or should I go get different financing?
Exactly.
Prove to me why what you're doing is the best and why I should do it.
Exactly.
Right? Like that's kind of what we do. So I always like to say, like, I usually ask my daughter when I'm thinking of a hook, like, hey, she'll ask me like a dumb, like, why is the junior live in one of our apartments? Well, because we take care of him. Well, why does he shovel for us? Well, he's taking care of the apartment and you pay him to do so. So other people can get out and get to their car. Oh. But she just asked kind of the questions you need
right.
to do content.
Well, she's what, a third grader?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Like,
if I can dumb everything down that I do to third grade level, I'm a genius marketer. So you need to understand when you're delivering, if you're trading in your car, deliver it at a third grade level. Tell Jen at third grade level how this transaction is going to work.
Like, what do I need? Like, can I just bring my driver's license? Do I need do I need anything else? Like,
right.
I don't know.
Well, one of like a question I would have to like, why do I got to be here for 4 hours?
Hey, that's true.
Can I just turn the car in and like walk out and e-sign?
Yeah. Can I just, here's the keys for the old car. Give me the keys to the new car. We're good. Like, can it not be that easy?
I bought a Tesla. And I don't know why it can't be this easy. So I went on and in 2.5 minutes, I had my deposit down on a Model S Plaid. And that's my car today. But I ordered the whole car. It's 4 options. Do you want the 21-inch wheels or the 19s? What color do you want it? White, blue, red, or I think that's it. And did you want the Plaid version or the long-range battery version? That's it. 3 clicks, order now. Enter my Apple ID, hit a couple buttons.
Hit the button twice.
Yep. $100 down on it. They sent me an email 3 months later. Hey, your car's ready. Submit your insurance information and wire us $25,000. It was a $130,000 car, but right. I mean, it was just that simple. Entered your credit card again. Boom, it paid it. They sent me an email 3 months later again. Your car's in. Do the full payment, and then they schedule the delivery. I went there. It had an update on it. I don't think if it needed an update, it would have been a lot shorter. But I literally walked in. They're like, okay, let me see your phone. I'll wire you the key. Boom, it's on. And I said, well, you're going to run me like through the car. We're going to walk through and like hit all the buttons and like this is going to be an experience. No, they're like,
figure it out.
There's 6 buttons in the car, bro. Go figure it out. We'll see you later. Didn't have me keys or anything. Just left some shit in the cubbyhole. And there's like some keys and like key cards. Like that was it. Like I literally spent less than 20 minutes on that transaction total, from me on my phone to getting the wires in and whatever. Like it was so simple.
Jeez.
I just don't. So he understood. Elon figured out how to do it very simply. But I go order a Chevy. I need to figure out, do I want the floor mats? Do I want the cup holder? Do I want a cigarette thing? Do I want a roof rack? Do I need a sunroof? Do I need 22s? Do I need 19s? Can it come with those tires? Or I need this package. It's like, there's 458 options here.
Literally.
I'm like, just give me the good one.
Just give me the good one.
Like, can we do 3 models here and no other options?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I want the tow package. I got shit. Like, they all should come with, it's a pickup. Like, I need the tow package. But Tesla just took all that shit out of it, made it very simple to order a car. And you can get it right now. So I think that's what they did very well. So, but if you listen to some of those content questions that we were talking about, to trade in your car, all you do is take a picture of it and send them the VIN number on the app. And they send you back, okay, Jen, we'll give you $19,000 for the Regal. And you turn it in. There's an inspection.
Easy as that.
Yeah, it was just like they simplified it.
Yeah.
Now, Nick Sherrick would probably have plenty of other options for me and tell me like why he can't do it that way.
Yeah.
But he understands why it's going that way because he came with me in this whole process.
Right. Yep. I remember that.
But we were sitting in a waiting room and you think like a waiting room in Tesla would be like this glorious place. No, it's a shithole. Like literally with a garage door, a bunch of beautiful cars in the, a bunch of Teslas all over. There's a computer screen because people come in and order their car because apparently they don't know how to do it on their phone in 2 minutes. Oh. And there's some shitty mints laying out in the middle. There's a Keurig machine that looks like it hasn't been touched since the day they bought it.
Of course.
And we had to sit there for an hour and a half, like in the waiting room. But that was like the worst part because it like, we have to update it and it's taking longer than we expected, whatever. So, but it was like a very unpleasing experience. You're just sitting in a waiting room and it feels like I'm in a hospital or something.
Well, I suppose people are not usually supposed to be there that long.
No.
Like it's
That's why the experience, they put no money towards it.
Right.
The building's a dump. Like it's literally a dump. But it's because it says Tesla. The brand is so good. I think, honestly, if Starbucks didn't have like, they have like a presence, like people spend time there. But if people didn't spend time there, if it was just a drive-through, I almost guarantee all their buildings would be shitholes with a Starbucks on it. And I almost think like Starbucks could put a sign on a shithole and people would still go there. Find the most rundown, worthless building. It's because the brand's so important.
Right.
So I don't know. Again, another rant there, but that's my take on building content. It's like they just give me the simplest hack.
Exactly.
Like let me fast proof it in life. So when you're thinking about content, have your daughter or your son ask you like,
Or a Jen. Find a Jen.
Let's walk around an apartment building.
Why?
What's that black mold on the wall?
Why is that mold on the wall? Like that, I literally asked you that.
Yeah.
Or like the trim around the windows. I was like, why was that trim?
Yeah.
Was that what was there?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. Well, and so that's how we produce content. It's not overly thought about. It's asking the really stupid questions about things that people don't understand. And if you can answer those questions, we call it. I think Ryan Pineda calls them mini ads.
Right.
It's all to lead him back to his longer form and his products that he offers. So we should throw a name out for him. So if you're interested in content creation, put down in the comments the word content and we'll hook you up with
Or just click the affiliate link down below. I'll put the affiliate link down below that you can just click on. And
Jen makes it easier.
much easier. Because I don't think you can you DM on YouTube?
On a YouTube?
Oh, it's a comment.
Yeah, on a
You
YouTube.
said comment.
Yeah.
I'll just put the affiliate
But a lot of
link
people
below.
listen to this in podcast form. So if
I will also put the affiliate link down below because you can put captions.
Oh, okay.
So if you click on the episode, you can find Mark's socials, the affiliate link. I'll put my socials in there.
Yeah.
So on any episode, actually, I do that.
Yeah.
Link to Mark's newsletter as well.
And ask questions. Like we love questions because like Jen and I, it's like, oh, why are we doing it like this? What are we trying to do? Well, we're just trying to get better. And the more questions we get, we just refine. And, and more people are curious about what we're doing. And that's why we're doing this podcast. I've actually had good conversations with curious people.
Right.
Why are we doing this? So that's Reels, I think, in a basket of why you would do it. So why do we do the long form? Why are we doing podcasts and YouTubes and that?
To kind of really drive in like that mastery factor. Like you do a long form on real estate investing, or we've got like your storage, how you do your storage, the luxury storage.
Luxury storage.
You
got it?
I got it.
Jen's learning a lot.
I am.
She not only learned as an office manager, learning all this random stuff.
Yep.
But she knows content now.
Content, real estate. So, driving that, making you the expert almost. That helps a lot. But also, we've got the Tesla videos out too. Those are fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, just same thing, kind of the attention. But also, making your knowledge known, educating other people to a higher degree rather than just a quick minute-long video.
Right.
So.
Yeah, I think the long form, we build these mini ads to get you there. We want to provide you value. I want to show you the tips, hacks, secrets, but I need to go further in depth. That's where I do the long form. That's why we're talking like behind the scenes in this podcast. Behind the scenes is like, that's what I was always curious about. Like people were producing this content like Mr. Beast, any of these big influencers, whatever. How are they doing all this though? Like,
right.
I'm curious. I don't want to do any of it, but I'm curious about what they're doing and how they're doing it, what cameras they have, what are they doing. But the long form, really makes you the mastery of something. And the Tesla videos, Tesla's just getting views.
100%. 100%.
So if we're going for views, we're shooting Teslas. Is that getting me a bunch of good real estate guys together? Hell no. Most of those guys don't care. But I just I try to, what I think we're trying to work towards now, which I think in this quarter, is turning the views, the hobbies into real estate or the boring stuff.
Right.
So how do you get the things that are exciting mixed in with the things that are boring? You know, I invest all my money into real estate. Well, great, good for you. But I drive a Tesla. So why do I drive the Tesla? Because I made all the money from the boring things, right? So I'm trying to tie the two together that hopefully you can learn to do yourself and why it's important to learn it. Why is it important to pay down credit card debt?
Raise credit score.
But you want a lower credit score if you're going to buy a home.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the presidency came out with that great rule. And like me with great credit score, I actually get punished.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
So I think I'm actually going to load up on my credit cards too. I might get a Lambo and some cool shit. So my Amex doesn't have a limit. So yeah, we can scan a few 100,000.
Good. I am looking for a new car, remember?
Oh yeah, Lambo.
I need something more practical, not less practical.
The engine sits on the rear tires. So it's got weight, so you can still get grip the ice.
Oh, okay.
Just think the views.
Oh, fair.
I'm with Lambo Jen.
Lambo Jen. Okay. It's a good nickname.
Lambo Jen.
Okay.
She got rid of the Regal and got into a Huracan.
Oh, God.
Or is that a Lamborghini Huracan?
You need to be friends with, I don't remember, Corinna something. She just bought David Dobrik a Lambo. I think it was a Lambo. Yeah? Yeah. Just here's 100. Well, I don't even know how much they are. Here's a brand new.
Probably 350.
Brand new Lambo.
Yeah.
Bright red.
Oh, yeah, that's nice.
Just, here you go.
Yeah. Well, it'll bring views.
All right.
Some people have been known for like their cars, but they've been known for their cars. They get the views and then they convert into something.
Right.
So I see why they did it. There's a couple of guys in the space. You guys know that space better than I do. So we try to utilize the Tesla. We probably should utilize it more.
100%.
Yeah. And we might have to buy something like really cool.
I was going to say, circle back. What I'm hearing is Mark is buying me a Lambo. That's what I heard. That's
Lambo Jen.
That's what I heard. So
your nickname is now Lambo Jen.
I'll take it.
Regal Jen?
Just doesn't have the same ring.
Not the same ring. I like Lambo Jen. Well, let's go back to the YouTube thing in the long form because we got kind of off the beaten path there, which is fine. How does someone go about shooting this, and like what's all the back end look like?
Oh God.
Like what's a hack? Like if someone wanted to shoot a YouTube, because it's important,
right?
What would they do? You know, you said you were outsourcing some editing. I don't know if that's long form too.
That is long form as well. So the same VA that we have that edits our reels that we shoot, also edits our long form YouTube, which is helpful because when I was editing, it was pretty, as you would say, missionary.
Oh yeah,
pretty basic missionary. Not too exciting. Graphics were minimal.
Yeah.
So I think that helps that we have a long form editor. But yeah, we just pick a topic, whatever.
Honestly, that's where we like to start.
Right.
Is the thumbnail.
Think of the thumbnail.
Because that's
the title.
You have to get them to click. It could be the best video in the world. If the thumbnail sucks, no one's going to click on it.
Well, even Stella said that.
And the title, yeah.
Like,
my
that
daughter
was
even
the first thing she said in the last, podcast we just shot.
Yeah.
She's like, the thumbnail.
You haven't watched the podcast with my daughter, go and watch that. The gal understands why she's clicking, and...
She's 9.
Yeah. Keep up with the content.
Yeah. So we kind of start there, think of the title, the thumbnail, kind of leave the script writing up to you because you're the one who's I
got to deliver the message.
You got to deliver the message. And then I kind of think of, okay, do we need to do this more dynamically? Do we need to go to one of the apartments? Do we need to go out to the storage units? Do we need to do anything like that? If not, I kind of think of of the scene then. Do I want you sitting? Do I want you standing? Do I want you behind the desk? Do I want you sitting here? Like what?
It's final vision. That's
Yep.
vision.
Yep.
So you're working on yourself on that too.
Yep. So once we've kind of got all that down, then we actually do the shooting. We shoot it, intro, the main body. Usually there's a couple points in there. You're usually like, here's the 5 things you need to know about doing your first real estate deal, whatever.
Oh, go subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't.
Yes. But yeah, then you deliver it. Once we're done shooting, put all the content on, or all of the footage onto my hard drive, and then upload it to Google Drive, which is shared with our editor. He edits it. We're having him do the thumbnails as well. For now, we're testing it. And then, he delivers it. I review it, see if there's any edits that need to be made, and then schedule it from there. Wow.
So we post it. And it's a whole process. And like every platform, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, whatever platform, you almost need a specialist in each platform because they all understand the algorithms of the different platforms. But your best reel editor might not be your best YouTube editor. Your best, it's not like an all-in-one. Like Jen was doing it all, but we understood that like if we wanted to go further, we need to find coaches and masters in LinkedIn, in Twitter, in YouTube, in Instagram. That's what we've been working on so much. And then now you're just trying to get it to our whole goal is to get the vision and the content made.
Yes.
And try to outsource it because you can outsource it cheaper than we just don't know what we don't know.
Right.
We're learning.
Exactly.
So if you guys are trying to build a personal brand, like you need to be outsourced. Like if you're editing yourself on your phone,
it's a waste of time.
Yeah. You're just not going to go far with that. Right. Depends what your goals are. If your goal is just to have fun with it, just have fun with it.
Right.
But I think everyone should be building a personal brand.
And we're just pushing out so much content.
Yeah.
That was also the issue.
Yeah. What are we pushing? Talk about that.
Oh God. So much. So much.
We started off with like one reel every other. I don't know. What were we at? I mean,
I don't even know. Were we even pushing reels like this time last year? Because I know we kind of started like the LinkedIn stuff like that.
Lately.
But yeah, we're doing one LinkedIn post every day.
Yep.
At least one. I know we're kind of starting to repurpose reels in the afternoon, pushing those. I think like 50 some tweets a week, 30 some tweets a week.
Yep.
At least 2 reels short form a day. So that's on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube.
Yep.
And then 3 long forms a week on YouTube. So whether it be podcasts or the more dynamic YouTubes. So usually Monday we do your solo podcast. You go live on Instagram. We also record that, put it out the following week as a solo podcast.
Gotcha.
And then Wednesdays usually podcast with a guest. And then Friday's either a dynamic YouTube or another podcast.
So we were producing, like before I thought delivering like 1 reel a week, was a big deal. Delivering a post each week and doing like a LinkedIn every day, like 10 to 15 pieces of content.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was a big deal, but why are we doing so much quantity then?
Just to get the exposure. Like the more content you put out, the more often you're going to pop up on somebody's feed. So yeah, just to get that growth, that exposure.
Because I think it's like up to 84 pieces of content now we're trying to push every week.
Yeah, something like that.
So 84 times, we're posting 7 times every day. And this is just between reels, writing, posts, whatever it is, not to mention all the stories that we're trying to push and whatever. And you have to get to a certain quantity. You have to 10x really like what you're doing. But I think what the most interesting part for like the listener is, am I spending every day, all day on this?
No.
So what's our timing? What's our schedule?
So it's going to shift a little bit. We did a little different this week. But usually we kind of block Mondays. You and I meet, kind of do a meeting in the morning.
Yep.
Then we roll into shooting.
We talk metrics,
Yep.
scorecard. We
Metrics,
basically
scorecard.
see all last week what worked, what
Yep.
didn't, what sucked.
What did the best, if there were any comments, good comments, bad comments, whatever. But yeah, we meet and then we'll shoot 5 to 7 reels, kind of want to. And then you go live on Instagram.
Yes, going live. That's new. That's new thing too.
We're trying to do that. Yeah, so if anyone wants to go live with Mark, just
hey, DM
let
in
me
the
know.
contents. If you want to get on this podcast, let me know.
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah. No, it's good.
So yeah, trying to go live. And then I think before we were shooting YouTubes on Mondays. I don't exactly remember. But usually we stick it to Mondays and Fridays. It's kind of our content days. This week we shot a YouTube on Wednesday, but
Yeah.
it's what
But
worked.
I think the whole thing, we're just bulking. Like
It's bulk.
Yeah.
bulk shooting.
Yeah. We're not like, I'm not just doing 200. We're trying to get 15 reels a week, but we do 2 hooks. So,
Right.
So if I'm shooting, let's say I'm going to shoot 7 reels after this, I'm grouping everything together. I'm not doing it 7 different settings. It would be impossible.
Right.
But then with those 7 reels, I shoot 2 hook lines. So I made $1.1 million, or how you can make over $1 million in real estate. I shoot those 2 hooks. I give the body in the same conclusion. You just switch the front hook line. So we repurpose that into 2 reels,
Yep.
which is important when you're producing that kind of quantity.
Right.
And it's to great attention. It sees what works. It gives us more data. It gives us more exposure and attention.
Yeah.
Gets me more reps, because the more reps you do in this,
The better you
and
get.
I am not good at it right away. Jen said I'm improving, which I'm hoping so.
Proving a lot, actually. Like I said, your reels used to be like 3 minutes long, like total content
Right.
length, and now they're a minute or less.
Right. So you get better at shooting them, and just spend time in front of the camera. It sucks. It's uncomfortable. It's miserable. There's self-doubt. There's fear. There's judgment. Don't listen to it. Just do it. The more you can do it, the more reps you can do. You can produce a lot of good content quickly. I mean, you just block out that. It's, unfortunately, it doesn't come just easily.
Right.
You keep working on it. But we did the state of the company last week. It's like I prepared probably the least of any of it.
And it went the best.
That's what, we're stuck on a timeline, and I knew the message I wanted to deliver. I knew the outcome of the message. It's just like you keep doing these things, and it's like, okay, well, this is simple. I'm just going to do this and
Right.
be more dynamic with it. So, but is it important for people to be building a personal brand? I mean, what good can come from it? Why are we doing all this?
I think so. Personally, I don't yet with a question mark. I don't really need to, I guess. There's nothing that I'm pushing. Like, you're building the personal brand to get more exposure for MAK Capital, MAK Construction, stuff like that. But yeah.
But there's people with personal brands that have literally done nothing.
True. It's because they've got when you're talking, I don't remember, we've talked about a lot, but when you're talking about something a little bit earlier, I was thinking about, people editing their own stuff. I know a lot of people that have just gone viral on TikTok, and just, I don't personally know them, but like I follow quite a few people that have just had 1 or 2, viral videos, and they've grown all of this following for being a Midwest mom, or,
The Chick-fil-A guy.
Yeah.
Like doing a dumb video.
Yeah. Like,
creates attention.
Exactly. So, yeah, but I think, personal brands, important, your digital footprint. That's where, if you're applying for a job or something, you're not supposed to, like HR, when people are hiring, you're not supposed to really go and search social media, but that's what a lot of people do. Or they hear your name, they're going to check you out. Like,
no one, okay, if someone knows I own MAK Construction, MAK, whatever, all these companies, they're not going to search the company typically.
right,
If it's a big player.
right.
What are they
gonna
going to do?
you. They're going to search for you.
They're going to go to Google.
Yep.
And they're going to type in your name and they're going to say, shit, this guy's on YouTube. He's got weird thumbnails and he's on LinkedIn. Wow, he's got a bunch of followers. I think we have like 15,000, like globally between everything we have. So hopefully, let's give an update every time we do this. But it gives you credibility. I think that's what you're looking for. Like, it's so hard to push brands nowadays.
Right.
Like Starbucks, yes, really powerful brand. Tesla, really powerful brand. Elon Musk, even more powerful. So I'd say, yeah, Elon Musk, his name is way more powerful than the Tesla name.
Yeah.
He's lighting rockets off. It's like
owning Twitter. Like,
yeah, right. Elon Musk is the brand, and people always love to feel, they want to know like behind the scenes, like, oh, what do they do after work? And
right.
what do they like? What do they eat? You're just curious now, like, they're just human and
right.
they do the same stuff we do. That's what you'll end up finding out. But yeah, they do a lot more things, a lot more productive things. So I think building a personal brand is huge. I think it's harder to build MAK Construction's like a construction name that only adopts to so many people.
Right.
But it's so much easier pushing a name of a person who has a face. It's just what marketing is nowadays.
Right.
I feel like it's like Tesla's not on Twitter doing weird tweets.
No.
It's Elon.
Yeah.
It's it's the most powerful brands in the world are names. So I don't know. It's worth talking about. Well, Jen, any last words for marketing advice someone can push into their, what do they need to do? Step 1 and step 2. 2 steps.
2 steps.
Give us a 2-step.
2 steps.
And then I'm going to ask you the 2 questions because I never asked you in the first
No,
one.
you didn't. Because that was like the first one. The first one after Nick Sherrick's, wasn't it? Like,
Yeah.
that was like,
Yeah.
I called it
You were number 2?
the first episode of season 2, I think is what I, what I said. 'Cause it was such a big gap. We didn't even have these. These are new
Yes.
to me,
Yeah,
at
we got
least.
Shure microphones. I mean, it's just like the full setup. We got a lamp. We got a plant.
Lamp, plant.
We got matching
matching
mugs.
cups.
Wow,
I did that on
That's
purpose.
impressive. We got 3 cameras. We got lights.
Yep. Everyone's always
They're not iPhones.
no. Everyone's always impressed. They're like, "Wow, you've got quite the setup in here." Like,
And it was like we added it up, and it was like $7 or $8 grand total.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot,
it's
but we
it's
use
an investment, but
we use it a lot.
We use it. We even use like the Shure microphones to shoot reels.
Yeah,
So
the audio sounds phenomenal.
yeah,
Yeah,
unless
So,
Katie screwed anything up. Sorry, Katie, throwing you under the bus. This is the first time we've had all the switcher stuff, and I have not
ran it.
ran it. So
yeah, Katie's she's an assistant in here now, making shit happen.
yep.
So 2 steps.
2 steps.
2 steps. Give
So-
me 2 actionable steps if I was a new creator and I want to build my brand.
So your first step is going to be just to actually start.
Oh.
Just do something. Put something.
How do I
out
get
there.
over the fear, judgment, doubt? How do I even get to that first step?
Just kind of put it to the back of your head. Like, don't think about it. Don't look at the camera because, like, that's me right now. I'm not even like it's not there.
I have you on my camera right now.
Oh, good. Thanks. Now I'm even more nervous. I'm even more nervous that you have your iPhone out.
Yeah.
It's you. You did I don't even know. Stop it.
Here, let me turn it around.
No.
Okay, keep going.
No.
Shoot a reel.
Now I'm aggressively uncomfortable, Mark.
I'm making her sweat.
Aggressively
I'm telling you,
uncomfortable.
the only way you can make this. All right, Jen, what do you want to talk about? Give me 2 steps. This is a
2
reel.
steps. Your first step is to actually just start. Just start shooting something, record something, be uncomfortable like I am right now. I hate looking at myself. It's going to be miserable editing this as well.
This is miserable.
So your first step is just to start. And then your second step is to post it. And then repeat those 2 steps. Reshoot, repost, reshoot, repost. You'll get eventually more comfortable. You're not as uncomfortable as you used to be, correct?
No, I mean, I don't give a shit now.
Yeah.
Repurpose.
I cannot even look at myself right now. You need to
Jen's sweating.
put that away.
Okay. I got a video of Jen. So it just shows you though that it is super uncomfortable.
Correct.
Even to get to step one, you look different. You presented yourself different once I had you on
I sat
camera.
up.
Yeah, she's like, oh my God. I'm like, what the hell are we doing here?
Oh my God.
All right, why am I sweating? There's a phone, but there's 3 cameras over here, but I'm not worried about those.
Because
I'm worried about this.
It's more, yeah.
So there's your 2 steps. Get over the fear and judgment, commit. Like if you're going to do it, like my daughter said, she was going to do what, on YouTube in 30 days?
Yeah, she's going to start a channel in 30 days. And then she was going to, in 5 years, she's going to have more subscribers than you.
Yeah, she did say that.
And then I hit myself in the face. I'm getting the shakes. The shakes are really hitting now because of that coffee. She also said that her podcast would have the most views, which I think that mine will. So we're gonna
challenge accepted, Stella.
Yeah. So yeah.
Produce freaking content. I don't care what you do. Turn the phone around or flip it. It has a camera that faces you.
Mm-hmm.
I just made Jen sweat because she's not used to producing content. But use that piece of content and hit post. I guarantee no one gives a shit whatever, they may comment on it, whatever. Who cares? But you will feel better once you post. And like I said, it is a muscle.
Mm-hmm. I
sucked at it too. And I think I still suck today. Hopefully my followers are more than 15,000. Otherwise, I still do suck. So it takes longer for me to understand something, and it takes longer for me to do it before I understand it. But honestly, commit, get to step 1 and hitting post. Whatever it is, just literally hit post.
Just put it out there.
Yeah.
Just get it out there.
Yeah, my wife sweats even worse than you did.
I know.
But it was funny how you got into a different position and you acted different. Like you have camera persona.
Yeah.
It's a real thing. When you turn around, it's like, oh, it's my hair, my eyelashes good, and whatever. I'm thinking of a girl. But.
Yeah, I keep adjusting my hair.
Yeah, right.
My hair, okay?
My gosh. Yeah. Is it weird? So yeah. Anyway, hit post, and then you know what? Keep hitting post. Commit once a day. Commit to 2 reels a week. You don't have to do it every single day. I don't feel good every day.
Right.
I don't want to post there's times when I come in, it's like I don't want to do any reels today. I don't tell Jen that. She could probably just see in the performance of it that
I can tell.
I'm like, my brain's not in a good weird, I'm just in a weird spot. I just not thinking about things right. I feel weird. I don't want to do it. So that's why batching content is so important. Batch it when you do feel good. Anytime I go somewhere, I shoot a dynamic. I have someone else record me, ask me a dumb question. I answer it to the best of my ability to help provide someone value. Keep it very simple. But hitting post, and repurposing it is a powerful tool.
Yep.
I think there's a lot of power in a brand. It's an investment. You're not going to see any outcome right away. My 15,000 followers is not making millions. I'll guarantee that.
Right.
I'm not talking about today. I'm talking about 5 years from now in 2028. I guarantee that I'll have made more connections. I've already bought apartments from this. I've found employees from this. I've found more things than I've ever did marketing MAK Construction just for a job. I've got more people calling me wanting to do deals. It freaking works. And it's just a new style of marketing. I never thought we would sit here and do this though.
Right.
But Jen just did it. She has a reel coming out. So
good.
She's going to hit post.
I can't
I'm going to have to her edit it or Katie edit it. Someone's going to have to edit it.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have Katie do it and post it for you without even you looking at it. Because many times I don't even see them.
I know you don't.
So whatever content comes out, that's Jen's fault. If it's not good.
Thank you. Except for this.
But I have to deliver the message.
Katie's shooting this one.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if this one isn't good.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So whatever. We can we all lean on each other and that's how we get better. But
yeah.
Okay, 2 questions, Jen. I guess.
Let me guess. What does unfollow the herd mean to you?
No.
Oh God. No. What are you gonna ask me then?
If in 5 years.
Oh, I mixed them up. I did the wrong order.
Okay, well maybe I should ask you a different question.
I don't care.
When you were 20 years old, what do you most regret? Not doing? What would you have wished you have done?
Probably back to that internship thing. I wish I would have gotten out of Menards. Wish I would have done something elsewhere to get a little bit more experience. Because all of the stuff that we're doing now, I'm all self-taught. did photography before. I have a photography business on the side, but never any video. So I wish I would have done something else. I wish I would have gotten out and experienced something more related to communications or marketing.
And just gone down that path?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Sooner. Yeah.
Sooner, because you're like 26?
I'm going to be 28 in June.
28.
So.
Yeah, I gave her the credit. So I got to think other questions. Jen does these podcasts all the time, so I'm thinking of other questions off the top of my head. How do you think, since we talked about fear, judgment of others, self-doubt, how you think that has held you back at all?
Ooh.
Because you're not the person that wants to be in front of the camera.
No.
You're usually behind the camera.
Yep.
So how do you think some of those things have held you back? Or what would you tell someone else who is in the same position, which is 99%?
You know, I'm always worried about what I look like. Like I've always...
Do you think someone cares?
Probably not. We're gonna get a little deep here for a second. I've always been kind of the chubby kid.
Okay.
You know, we're working on that. It's one of my goals. You know that.
Hey, say that. What's the goal, Jen?
My goal is to lose 50 pounds by the end of the year.
Do we want to like say weights and figures, or we just want to like have an update?
We can do an update. I'm down 6 pounds.
6.
It's something.
Down 6. It is April 28th.
It's the 28th. Yeah, April 28th. But I also just started dieting and working out like within the last month. So like this is a recent thing.
Okay.
But yeah, so I've always been the chubby kid. So I don't want my picture taken. I don't want to be on video. Like I don't like to look at myself like that. So it's just kind of getting over that because no one else cares. You don't look at me any different. Like Katie doesn't look at me any different. No one cares.
There's chubby people on film all the time.
Yeah. Like I'm no different than like it's not a big deal what I look like.
Okay.
Like just kind of.
So that's number 1.
Just kind of getting over that. Yeah.
There's got to be more than that. Is that it? That's the only thing that holds you back from getting in front of the camera?
Yeah.
Just the self-doubt of that. Wow.
Yep. And maybe sounding stupid, saying the wrong thing, but.
That's everybody.
Yeah. So
how do you overcome that? How does that hold you back? Like maybe throughout life, you could say, as a kid, I don't know, whenever you had these thoughts.
Yeah, you know, I don't have a whole lot of like pictures of myself, I guess. Like I just kind of wish, like, I'm just glad I don't have kids yet, so I don't regret that. Like I know a lot of people are like, oh, I wish I would have taken more pictures of myself with my kids, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But like even growing up, I was literally always behind the camera. My mom would give me like disposable cameras on the last day of school. I have like pictures from like 4th grade.
Yes.
Of just like.
God, I love those disposable cameras.
The class. Yeah. So I don't, but there's like one picture out of however many they take of me. So, yeah, just, it doesn't matter. Like I'd rather have that memory than. Yeah. Like, oh, I don't have any pictures of myself. You're living the self-doubt of
what you look like. That's what you hated.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter. Like.
It doesn't it matters to you. Though.
Right. But no one else cares. Like, it's whatever. Like, I'm cool as shit. I don't know about...
Well, it obviously affected you because you were worried what other people thought.
Yeah. Well, like, even still, like, back to your pulling out your iPhone and you adjusted, sat up, like, oh, God.
I'm good.
Yeah. But, yeah, it doesn't matter.
Cool.
I need to shoot more content. Like, I don't know.
It's probably the last thing you think about is shooting more content.
100%.
Yeah. We're shooting content on Fridays.
Yeah.
It's our thing.
Hammering it out.
Well, no, it's important. I think it could help a lot of people. So how do you overcome that? Or how, obviously you haven't overcame it completely.
No. Just trying to remind yourself, remember that, you know, you may think it matters, but it really doesn't.
It really doesn't.
Like no one's, oh, she's fat or, oh, this or whatever. It's, oh, hey, that was a good message. Like what she said was impressive. Like, you know, she knows what she's talking about. She's cool as shit. But.
And most of that never hit the viewer's mind even.
Right.
Especially if they're listening to this. They don't even know.
Exactly. Yeah. You don't.
But
do not go watch this on YouTube if you're on Spotify.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
I don't know if it would change if the cameras were gone. Maybe a little bit. I mean, you wouldn't need a set or anything. But
No, you wouldn't need a set. But that's such a big thing. Like, I love the 𝗨𝗍𝗍𝗍 brothers podcast.
Oh, okay. And it's got some video?
Yeah. And they rip them into short reels. But
Oh.
they do it virtually because they're not in the same
Oh, sure.
city. But it just catches more attention, I think.
Yeah.
But
Well, we're after that. We'll have to mimic whatever they're doing or something.
yeah, they do funny shit all the time. They just rip on each other because they're brothers. So
Well, I won't rip on you, Jen.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Okay, Jen. Thank you for coming on again. We're going to
Yes,
give an
you're welcome.
update. We're 6 pounds down, 44 to go.
Thanks for the reminder.
You're in the midst of it. We're through April damn near.
Yeah.
We're sitting on 7 months left.
Yeah. And this will probably go out
Yeah, in 2 months.
month probably.
Yeah.
So
let's we're gonna get an update again on this. Jen, thank you
Okay.
so much for what you do.
Yes.
Very important in this case and getting these produced and out. And guys, if you guys have any marketing questions, ask Jen. She literally does all the back end for us. There's not a big team. It's literally Jen and some editors that have we delegate basically things off her, and really helpful. Whatever. If you guys were wanting to produce your own kind of content, we will see you in the next one. Peace.